I went fishing the other day, and it made me think about a fishing adventure I had several years ago up in McCormick County. It's the spring of the year, and that's when those big mama stripers out of Clarksville Reservoir try to go up those creeks to spawn. Well, I finally found me a nice place. It was a beautiful day. You know, the dogwoods are starting to blossom, and the bees are starting to buzz. And I cast my old red worm over in there, and I was waiting for something to happen. Well, I noticed right on the other side of the creek, there was a squirrel running up a tree there, and he kept running out on this limb, you know, kept running up the tree and out on the limb and looking down. And I looked to see what he was looking at. What he was looking at was a rock. I mean, a big old rock, gallon bucket times two, sitting there as a big old nice rock. And I noticed that squirrel kept running out on that limb, man. He was just running out on the limb and run back. He'd run out and run back, run out and run back. Finally got out there, and that limb's going up and down, just like it's here. And I looked to see what he was doing. Well, down there on that rock was the biggest, fattest, prettiest acorn I'll bet you that old squirrel had ever seen. And he was going to get it. He was. So he goes tippy-toeing out to the end of that limb, and it just kind of bent down like that, and then he jumped off of it. Landed right on the top of that rock. He sees that big old acorn, and he's a-looking at it. And you can almost tell that he's licking his chops, because he can already taste it. But about that time, there's a swirling in the water, and it commenced to foam up, and you could think, just in the distance, you could probably hear that da-da, da-da, da-da music like they heard up there in the Yankee Crossing when that big old shark was coming out. Well, about that time, out from the water comes the biggest dadgum catfish you have ever seen. And he leapt out of the water, and his big old tongue just right over and grabbed that squirrel right off of that rock. And then he was gone. And the water once again was just like glass. And all was quiet. And then I saw it coming down the stream again. You know, that big old spike that that catfish has on the top, on his back. It's moving through the water very, very slowly. And it comes up right beside that rock. And then he comes up and sticks his head right out of that rock. And he said, just like that. And it spit that fat, pretty acorn right up on top of that rock. I see it had taken me a little while to figure out what's going on. I was fishing, but you know what? That old catfish, he's a fishing too. Except I'm a fishing for fish, and he was fishing for squirrels.